Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Come on in. Oh my gosh, we've got the whole crew of us here. So we're just starting the live stream. I am excited to see you all come on in and get settled. So go ahead. I'm going to give you all a couple minutes to come on and join us. I know the people that have come in already, you are amazing. You are so on time and punctual. I feel like I am always showing up to stuff late, even when it's digital, and I have absolutely no reason. So congratulations to you. You made it. You all get ponies if you stay to the end. And everyone else who's coming in, make your way on into the room. We have a really, really great conversation today. If you don't know me, my name is Beth. I'm founder and CEO of Wanderful, the creator of the Women in Travel Summit, and also the creator of the Bessie Awards, which is like one of my most favorite things in the whole world. So I'll talk to you a little bit about what the Bessies are for those of you who are new to that. In the meantime, as you come on in, go ahead and drop in the chat. I have homework for you. So go ahead and drop in the chat where you are in the world, and most importantly, what it looks like outside your window. So take us to where you are. Sometimes people like to talk about weather. That's always nice too. Weather is a good thing, but you can also talk about the beautiful view of the parking lot that you have, or the olive grove that's in front of you, or the ocean, or just like take us to where you are in the world. So drop in the chat where you are, and we'll get situated as people all come on in. So let me tell you about the Bessies as we go. I see like people already dropping lots of hearts. Thank you for dropping hearts. That's really nice. To get us started as we go, the Bessie Awards are a series that we have been hosting since, I think, 2019 at WITS. And the idea of it is to create a space that honors people and companies that are changing the landscape of travel for women worldwide. And it is such a special event. We have 9 different categories of people and brands that are nominated. And then at WITS, when we gather for the Women in Travel Summit every year, we do this award show. And it's really special if you've ever been to the show, because we get all glammed up. There's a red carpet. There's a whole, award show performance, that kind of thing. It's really fun. And we actually make like real crystal awards that we present. It's really fun. So, but one thing that we don't often get to do is a chance to talk with our finalists, which I think all of our finalists are winners, whether or not they win, because these are people who are really creating a better future of the travel industry as we see fit. And I think it's so special to celebrate their work, regardless of like who's inside the envelope. Like the people that are making this industry what it could and should be is so special. And so I was really, really excited to be able to have a conversation with all 3 of our finalists for the Travel Startup of the Year category at the Bessies, because not only is that like just a really cool category, but also it's four women of 3 businesses that are doing really, really, really cool stuff. And I wanted to have a conversation talking about what is the industry that we want to see? What is the future that they are building? And I wanted to give you all a chance to actually see some of that and hear some of their stories. So I see some of the comments coming in. For those of you who missed the introduction as we started, go ahead and drop in the chat where you are in the world, what it looks like outside your window. It looks like we've already got Puerto Rico represented in the house. We have Arizona in the house.
Nice.
Welcome. Come on and be here. Keep active in the chat. Ask questions. We'll have some time for Q&A. We'd love to be able to include you. And because this is being streamed on YouTube, you can always come back and watch the recording at the same link, which is really nice. We're also streaming on LinkedIn. I know some of you are watching on LinkedIn and on Facebook. So that is available to you. You'll have access to this in the future. Oh, Vancouver Island, Canada is also here. Okay, here we go. We're getting a description. It's gray, still outside my window with trees and ocean mountain views in the distance. Girl, you have the best view ever. You have ocean and mountains and trees and calm. Like, that sounds absolutely wonderful. Lenora's coming in from chilly and sunny northern Illinois. I know you've got springtime in the Midwest, which isn't always spring, as I remember from living in Chicago. So I'm glad that you're able to enjoy it a little bit. Sunny. Oh, this is the Arizona one. Yes. Oh, of course it's sunny in Arizona. We like expect that. Birds dancing around though is fantastic. Well, keep on dropping in. We want to hear from you and let you be part of this. In the meantime, I think this is like enough Beth just talking about herself and what's we really need to meet our panelists here who've been sitting here so patiently. So let me give you all a minute to introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about what you're building. So I'm going to call on you in the order that you came in to the prep call. How about that? We'll make it easy. So that means that, is it Tess is going to be up first? Tess, give us a little bit of an overview of who you are and about HerHouse.
Yeah, so my name is Tess Millhollon. I am the founder and CEO of HerHouse. And HerHouse is a community of background checked solo women travelers who host each other for free all over the world, giving us safe, affordable places to stay and a supportive network of women all around the world. It's something that I wish I would have had while I was solo backpacking after college. And so that's what I do. I also am a published author and a podcast host. So I have kind of a lot of irons in the fire, but I'm really excited about where HerHouse is going. Yeah.
I love that. Thank you so much for being here. I think that's like so special to be as somebody who's building for women, like building for women is such a cool section of the world. And I know a few of you are working on that. So thanks for being here today, Tess.
Thanks for having me. So fun.
Amanda and Asnath, I'm going to let you all take this in the direction that you want since there's two of you. But tell us about Still Waters.
Okay, I'll take this. Well, my name is Amanda Kessy. I'm here with my sister Asnath Kessy. We are both co-founders of Stillwater Safaris. We are sisters. We are from a family of 3 girls. I'm the eldest. She's the second, and we have the third one who also works for Stillwaters now in the operations team. We come from a family or background of tourism because most of our family members work in the tour or rather own their safari companies. But coming from that, still including our dad, we realized that most of the safari companies here in Tanzania are male dominant, like they're owned by men. So it came to us like this is a gap that we could fill in and start a safari company as a female owned. Doesn't mean that there are no other female owned companies, but they're very few. So we realized that there were very many beautiful stories being told about Tanzania, but in the same way, most of them did not come from like female owned companies or even at least local owned companies. So yeah, I'm happy to be here. And yeah, thank you so much for having us.
We're thrilled to have you. And I think you are, if it's even possible to undersell this, you're underselling the fact that you're not just saying like most companies are not woman run and not locally run. It's like 90% of companies in the safari industry are like male and expat dominated. Is that right?
Yes.
That's like a huge number.
Huge number. Like
for you to be dealing with, yeah, where you are. I'm excited to talk more about that.
Thank you.
Okay, Vanessa.
Hi, everyone. I'm Vanessa Karel. I'm the founder of Greether. Greeting you from San Francisco. It's kind of chilly always here, so that's why I went to grab my sweater right now. And I'm the founder of Greether, at Marketplace travel company that helps women travel safer around the world by connecting female travelers to local female guides wherever you're traveling to. It's almost like having a local bestie everywhere you go. And it's also an incredible way to support local women economy wherever you're traveling to, because this is a great way to employ women, but also have like a very personalized experience because every experience is tailored and personalized to you. Especially, for example, when you're traveling to a place you've never been to or you don't speak the language, you can pick the meetup spot. In some cities, we even allow airport meetups. You select the type of activities that you're interested in doing, and you get to be connected to her before your trip, which is super helpful, right? Because we all know whenever we have, like been planning a trip, and there's, of course, now we can ask ChatGPT or Google, but there's nothing like asking someone who is actually there at that moment for tips. And so we match our greeters and our travelers before their trip. So they also establish kind of a relationship. And then when the traveler lands, you have someone greeting you. And we're all over the world now in over 130 countries. So it's really exciting to see that, female travelers are choosing this way, not just to kind of empower themselves through travel, but like empower women, the local women. So excited to be in this panel and really inspired by the rest of the finalists.
That's so amazing. And thank you for being here. And Vanessa, I'm going to throw you the first question because I think that, one of the things that's so interesting about this process is as an entrepreneur, speaking to entrepreneurs, there's two things that happen when you start a business. The first is that you notice an opportunity or a need in the space. The second is you decide to be the one to solve it. So what was that moment for you that you first realized that there was an issue here, and then second said I'm going to do that? What was that moment for you?
Yeah, it was kind of a long story, but in short, I started solo. I had the privilege to start solo traveling really young, but it was always up to places where I knew my parents wouldn't have a heart attack. I come from a traditional Mexican family, so I was definitely the first in my bloodline to ever solo travel. And I remember the first time I told my parents I wanted to solo travel, they wanted to send me to a psych ward. They were like, "Are you okay? Is everything all right? Are you depressed? What's going on?" But the long story short is that this is my second company. So during 2020 in the pandemic, my previous company had a contract to enter Morocco when the pandemic was happening, and I experienced a situation that was really scary to me. Mm-hmm. And even though I've traveled so many times solo before, I hadn't really been exposed to a country where I didn't know anybody, I didn't speak the language, and it was also closed off for tourism, to top it off. And I really needed a way to connect with locals who trustworthy men or women. Just I went through all my contacts on my phone, Facebook, etc. I was like, does anybody have friends in Morocco? And nobody did. And the long story is that I did a Google search and I didn't find Greether. I really needed it. And it wasn't until I met the original Greether, Fatima, at a small town in Morocco where, I met this wonderful Moroccan woman who didn't speak English, by the way, but she was just so excited to show me around her town. And I was like, this would have been awesome when I landed. I wish I could have replicated that. It saved me a lot of stress and time and discomfort. And so I started writing a book. It was actually not a company that I was building. I was writing a book about what it meant to be a woman in this world, in traveling and solo traveling. And with that, I started a long research and I interviewed over 500 female travelers. And I realized that 90% of them were saying, this has happened to me in Mexico. This has happened to me in Bolivia. This has happened to me in Japan. I was like, okay, there's something here. And I was like, I think I have an idea, and that's kind of the eureka moment. I was like, I want to build this. And I was just so excited about it that I just decided to go for it.
I think it comes from a completely different place when you're building something for yourself. You're building a thing that you needed because you were seeing, I think you're not answering this question with oh, well, I did some research and I found that 80% of women are looking for, you're like, no, I had this experience where I met with this woman and it changed the way I traveled and I realized that wasn't available. So I think that's really special. Tess, is that how it kind of happened for you, or what's your story?
Yeah, I have kind of a similar story to Vanessa as well. I had a working holiday after college. I went to Australia and was over there for not just 6 months. I wasn't even over there super extended period of time, but I'll tell you, those 6 months were so life-changing. And I think anybody who has done any amount of solo traveling knows how deeply impactful that season is for us. And during that time, I stayed with a lot of locals. I had a few connections in Australia, and I don't know, I'm just kind of good at connecting with people and making friends and networking. And, it's just kind of my vibe. It's how I do it. And then, but there were several times that I didn't know anybody. And it was incredible how Australians would just open up their home to me as a solo female traveler. Like, support came out of the woodwork for solo female travelers. It's amazing. And so when I got back to the States, well, first off, like, staying with locals not only saved me like thousands in like accommodation costs, because beyond your flights, your accommodation is going to be one of the biggest things that's going to eat through your budget. So so I was like, I saved a lot of money and I had really incredible experiences, kind of similar to Vanessa, like having someone to kind of like show me around and what it's like to see through their eyes, like as a local type of thing. It's like a completely different way of traveling. Instead of like staying at a hotel or even a hostel. Hostel's cool too, but it's a different vibe. It's a different way of traveling. So when I got back to the States, I was telling people, what I did. And I was like, I stayed with all these locals and I had these amazing experiences and I sailed up the East Coast and it was incredible. And they're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. How did you find these people? How did you know that they were safe? Because it's like, I thought about other like accommodation platforms, like couch surfing and different things, and I was always super scared to use them because they have such an unsafe thing because they're co-ed. So I was always very, very nervous about that. And so I was like, I don't know. I just kind of trusted my gut. God had his hand on me or something. Like, I don't know. I just kind of figured it out. And I was like, hold on, like, this is easy for me, but it's actually not easy for everyone else to find these locals, to ask for accommodation. I'm like, wouldn't it be cool if we just had like this space where that was like dedicated and safe to connecting us and providing accommodation and all of that. So that's when the wheels started kind of turning in my head on this, like 2017, 2018. It was actually a long time ago. And it just kind of sat in the back of my head for a long time because the concept of like creating something like this was really, really overwhelming. And Vanessa, you probably went through that as well, like creating a platform, creating a community, or creating software it was really, really daunting and overwhelming for me. But yeah, that's when I realized that, and it just sat in my heart and it just wouldn't go away for a long time until I eventually developed the MVP myself in 2021 with no code software. So yeah, that's kind of the backstory on it.
That's such a cool story. And I think you're, especially, I know you're like just dropping that at the end of like, okay, no code software. But I think like the last few years have been a really interesting time in entrepreneurship, because it used to be that like, in order to be a tech entrepreneur, you had to either be a technical person or have a technical co-founder. And that was like such a limiting thing for so many people with like business acumen or really good ideas or like strong marketing or community. So I've loved seeing this journey for you too, of like being able to launch this at a time when you can create that MVP without necessarily having to like go to coding school and build that. So that's super cool.
And it's even easier now than ever before, like with vibe coding and different things. Like creating software is like so much easier now with AI than it even was like a few years ago when I developed my MVP. So it's just getting easier and faster, which is pretty cool for tech entrepreneurs like us.
Yeah, you're totally right. Amanda, I want to switch gears a little bit and talk about what you and Asnath are hoping to do as well, because you're coming from a little bit of a different perspective where maybe you weren't like going on a bunch of safaris and being like, where are the women? You're like living and breathing that lifestyle at home. So like what made both of you decide, oh, this is not only like an issue, but something that we feel like we should be solving? And what is different about the way you're approaching this than everybody else?
Yeah, thank you, Beth. So for us, I would talk about our beautiful country. Tanzania is very beautiful and blessed in so many ways. And when people come to Tanzania, they usually imagine the beautiful lodges, the beautiful wildlife, which is true. There are beautiful Zanzibar beaches, the Mount Kilimanjaro. But again, there is more to it, So we've started this like initiative of talking to our clients before they even book their trips, like telling them more about the culture, you see, because when people travel, it's not just about seeing the elephant. You could probably see an elephant when you go to any other country, you could probably see the lion and anything else. But when you come to Tanzania and experience the culture. Meet these Tanzanian people, interact with them, leave a mark and they will leave a mark to you. They'll leave you something that you live and remember for the rest of your life. So we make sure that in these itineraries that we curate, that's why we also do not just sell itineraries, we customize the itineraries. We make sure that people have the chance to actually, yes, visit Tanzania, yes, go to the wildlife, enjoy the beautiful lodges, but still incorporate the cultural experience, eat our food, eat the local food. We actually take them to the local food. They get to eat it. We actually make them not only interact with the guides that that will be with them for the most time, but also interact with the locals. So we take them to an authenticated locals, not just, staged or anything. Like we walk into a family, we would just walk into a school, a local school. They will meet the children, depending on, of course, the time and how the itinerary is set. So we felt like what we are doing is really beautiful, and most of it makes us happy, because when you take the clients' feedback after they're done with the trip, they usually like, the best highlight was the locals, and some people keep calling and asking how they do. Like they make long-time friends, which to us is everything. Yeah.
I think.
Oh yeah, go ahead, Asnath. Sorry.
If I can add to that, as in it's say like, how Tess and Vanessa said, like how they met the people and they were going around with the locals and it made.
Oh, sorry. I did something technical because I'm being silly. Here you go. Sorry, Asnath. Put you back in. I was trying to make a logo. There's like a logo that was over your face, and I tried to make it disappear.
Yes, and then now it's on Vanessa.
I am also not a technical co-founder, so
yeah, now it's with Vanessa. It's
according to That's so perfect. You're just holding it. Okay, you get extra time now. Stop doing that. You're gonna make me laugh.
No, all right. Yeah. So as I was saying, as in, the experience where you get to meet the locals, you get to see how a normal Tanzania, their day-to-day activities, what they eat on a day-to-day, they take that more. It's so weird. Like it's so, and it's not that experience like you left, whatever you say, you left Australia or you left the UK, you came here, you stay at the lodge, you're still eating what probably you would eat in the UK. That does not give, and I felt like that was missing. And I'm not saying like the lodges are bad. Like the lodges, it's a beautiful experience. Like you'll get a once in a lifetime experience. But when you interact with the locals, it's beautiful. It's something unique. It's something, it's like, oh, this is what people do. They wake up in the morning. Do they go to get water? This is what they have for breakfast typically. This is what they normally have for lunch. This is what they do for tea time. Like the snacks that they have for tea time. It's amazing, and it's something different. And it's just that it adds that human touch or element, and they feel more and they understand more about Tanzanian culture. And that was missing. People will just come, they go on the fancy lodges, which is still very okay. Get to see the lions, get to see the mountain, go to Zanzibar, get to enjoy the beaches. And yes, Tanzania is beautiful with that, but there's more to that. Tanzania is made, it's the people, it's us. It's like, it's built by the people. So it's more than just the nature. The people also make Tanzania itself. So when we added that element, it changed a lot, and it's beautiful. And obviously we are open. It depends. If somebody has a tight itinerary, they cannot incorporate that. It's also okay, but always when we get a moment, even just an hour, it's what they take away. And they'll always take away that, which it's a good thing. So we're like, okay, actually we're doing something good here. And now we really enforce and try to make sure we navigate that itinerary in a way that our clients get to actually get the culture, the feeling, the being a local, being a Tanzania, how, yes. So yeah.
That's so beautiful. And I think you're so right. And for everyone who's watching too and listening, in about 5, maybe 10 minutes, we're going to open the floor to questions as well. So feel free to start dropping questions into the chat, and I can show them on the screen and read them out loud for you. So we want you to be able to participate and be part of this conversation with us. But what's really interesting that honestly I didn't even think about until now, and hearing each of you talk about your businesses, is that there is this one very core through line between all of your businesses, which is this community-centered travel. Like, it's just, each of you is focused on a very different kind of tourism than the type of tourism that's been maybe more traditionally marketed to us, which is kind of like hotels and flights. And, it's like, for each of you, it's really taking like a very personal approach to somebody's travel experience. And I'm curious, like, forever who kind of feels like they want to answer that question, like, do you think that's coincidence, or do you think that like there's a part of the travel industry that's really evolving in that way?
I can jump in. I think, and if I can speak, on behalf of a lot of the Wanderful community and our communities, I think we're kind of tired of the cookie cutter experiences. It's like kind of boring. I was just saying, like, I actually have never been to Machu Picchu. It's one of my bucket list places, but I was just telling someone, I was like, I feel like I've been there because everybody takes the same damn photo. It's the same photo. And they're always like holding their arms out, and they're wearing a nice poncho, which I love, by the way. And I'm like, why isn't there anything else? And we have greeters in Machu Picchu now that are taking our travelers to the local markets. And I'm seeing different parts of Machu Picchu I've never seen on social media now because I haven't been. And I think that, what Amanda and Asnath are doing is that too. It's like that local experiences that we're all seeking. Something unique and to dive deeper, like, because I think we don't want surface level experiences. I think most of us who are in these communities want something that, where that you're living your kind of like ethical thumbprint in a good way too, because it's so hard to know which companies or which experiences to support that actually are going to benefit the locals. And for example, for us, we have pissed a lot of companies off because we're paying our greeters above standard rates, and I think that there is a need for these, and there's a need for even other experiences that come up for like travelers with disabilities or senior travelers. For example, I now consider Greether age tech because a lot of our travelers are women in their 60s and above, and they choose us for different reasons. They want companionship, and they want to have someone, kind of help them navigate. So there is a lot of need for these, and I think that's why we have come up with these. Oh, hi. Yes. Experiences, all of us in our communities.
I'm also seeing that inside of my network too, Vanessa. Like, I think that a lot of the women that are attracted to HerHouse and to Greether and to all these experiential things, like, they're wanting more like experiential travel and like deep personal transformation within travel, not just a vacation. And I mean, and vacations, holidays definitely have their place in our lives, but that's not all people, and especially women, are looking for, and especially women who are solo traveling. They're looking for like a deeper experience. They're wanting to see life through locals' eyes. They're wanting like healing in their hearts. Like, I know a lot of women come to HerHouse, like, and they're wanting to do solo travel after they've been divorced or they've lost someone. They're in this place of transition. Maybe they're going through something, and they're needing healing. And I think that's another reason why they're not just wanting something surface level. They're really wanting to connect with the local community. And so that's another thing that I've been seeing too inside of my network.
Yeah, I think you're both really, I mean, I think all of you are addressing like a fundamental value of travel. I mean, that's why I started traveling. It was like wanting to be a global citizen, right? Wanting to be like part of the world and wanting to feel that and to meet people and to like make those deep connections. And I think it's really cool that you are creating spaces that do that. And I also think it's very interesting how it's all women-founded companies that are doing it. I'm sure there's some other great companies that do it too that are not women-founded, but it's like it's funny seeing this all kind of like in like high relief, all our organization and all three of yours at the same time, kind of addressing this like very community rooted, impactful travel experience. which I think is neat. For those, I know a couple people hopped in late, so I just wanted to flag again that we are moving into Q&A soon. So if you want to, I also have like 100,000 questions. I think everyone will laugh because I prepped them and let them know that I usually don't ask the questions that I plan, and that has held true. I have like so many questions that I haven't even asked. So I can keep going, but if you do have questions, drop them in the chat. I would love for you to be part of this, and we can ask your question and kind of move into that. But I want to talk about this art of being like women founders right now. What have you found that has been helpful for you in your journey? And what do you hope for women who are moving into this space of travel entrepreneurship in the future? What has helped you, and what do you hope for in the future? Who wants to hop in?
I can start. I think just like how the experience that Tess and Vanessa had, and I'm like, the needing of community, the needing of feeling safe. Like, it's very unfortunate that now we live in a community or a world where, guys, it's very yeah, like safety has become something that is out of reach. It's unfortunate, and it's not like back in the days, like you can let your kids play with the neighbors and everybody and not even have to worry. So I think it actually stems from that, and it stems from, like, we as women, we are born and built to be nurturing and caring and all that. And in most cases, it's women and children who are always victims and everything. So creating that space. And then you realize there's such a big gap, just like how you realize Tess, Vanessa, and us, it's the same thing, what we're trying to incorporate and create travel that feels safer for people. So the moment, I think what helped for us, the moment it's like, oh, it's a female owned, like people already feel like they already have it in their head that I'm like, there will be attention to detail, there will be some sort of compassion and care. Like, it's so it's so crazy, but like they already think that they'll be like, they will actually be safe. Like, so there's that thing that goes into their mind already. And then also the fact that there's not a lot, it's always been a male dominant industry. And so I feel like for us, it has helped us quite a bit, as in the moment she was like, it's a female owned, and things like, and people want to support that because they don't see that a lot. They want to support it. They already feel safe, especially it's women. It's easier for a man to travel solo. It's okay. It's been done. Like, yeah, but a female, it's so easy. But like, you're coming for a safari and you're speaking to women, and you say like, I want to do a solo trip. It's like, don't worry. And just that idea that they will be received with a female person, with a female counterpart from the other kind, there's that sense of calmness and peace, and which makes the whole feeling and experience a whole lot different. So for us, it has really been a plus. And the negative part of it, I think it can also go on to like, this is a male dominant industry. Can you really do the job? Yeah. Listen, we've had a lot of those.
Have people said that to you?
A lot.
Yeah,
A
of
lot.
course. And they're like,
wow,
nah, you'll never make it.
I
Like
really
you-
want to ask you guys.
Yeah,
I
you'll
was
never
like,
make it.
I mean,
Like,
so curious. That's crazy.
yeah. Like, you won't survive. And yeah, but and yeah, honestly, our dad did this business and everything. So let's not take it for granted that we had a very big backbone of him being behind us, and telling us like, you know what, you can do it. Like, it's not about being a male for you to be able to be in this industry. It's about what you deliver. And we saw him deliver the service. Like, it's not rocket science. It's a service delivery. And we think beyond that, as in, like, we bring attention to detail. We bring so many different aspects in a business. So yeah, but it is, yeah. And there are people who won't actually trust because they believe you won't actually deliver. So and we have learned, it's like, it's fine if you don't, but when we are sailing high somewhere there, you'll come back to us. But like, it's fine if you don't trust, you don't believe we can deliver a service, it's okay. We don't, yeah, we will move on. And yeah, so yeah, but more on the positive, like more on the positive, which is really good. Yeah.
I think though also, like your culture is so embedded in the way that you view the success or failure of a woman-owned business too. And there are studies, I don't know if any of you have come across, I don't remember the exact statistic, but there are studies that say that businesses that have like at least one woman on its like core executive team are like more successful and like more profitable. I believe I don't know if anyone remembers the exact statistic.
Yeah.
But it's like if you have like at least one woman, you're like automatically a more successful business than one that isn't.
I think it's over 70%. I can look it up, but I think it's over 70%, and it is true that culture plays a big role into it. Because going back to your question, Beth, I have seen a lot of change since when I started Greether to now. I feel like there is good progress and like setbacks in other ways. Setbacks because of political issues, but the progress I see is from the audience, like from people being more open to support women-owned businesses and shopping women, and they know that is needed, right? But speaking from experience, I have had a lot more success talking to investors in the US than in Mexico.
Okay.
In Mexico, I get a lot of pushback because of cultural, and I'm Mexican, okay, full disclosure, you guys didn't know. But I get a lot of nasty pushback, literally, and from both men and women. And I have been in so many stages pitching, presenting Greether around the world, but whenever it's to Mexican audience, I receive a lot of restraint, and I think it's cultural. And it's a lot of educating, and it's a lot of being like, it's okay that you think this way, but let me explain. Literally have been in rooms where men have been like, but why would women travel solo? And I'm like, excuse me, why wouldn't we?
Wow.
So a lot of these, comes from ignorance and comes from not seeing women travel solo before, from them never seeing their mothers travel solo, and from them thinking that women need a man to be with them at all times. Also, of course, Mexico is more unsafe, right? So there's a lot of stigma that comes from it, but it takes us being successful. It takes all of us supporting each other's businesses, because you don't see businesses exit or get investment, and you like buying their services or their products, then we cannot move forward. So it really takes us like being super firm into what type of business am I going to support when I'm traveling. Can I buy from the souvenir shop that is women owned? Can I eat at a women owned restaurant? Can I stay at a women's owned hostel, or whatever it is that in your financial means that you can do to support women as you travel? It goes a long way,
I was going to jump in there as well, Beth. Like, and I totally understand that you're getting that pushback, Vanessa, from investors in Mexico, because in the States, I mean, I haven't gone down the investment route, but there's a lot of great opportunities for women in the US, because there's a lot of like women grants, some like accelerators really promote women and diverse communities and stuff like that. So that is super cool about that. I think for me personally, being a woman founder in my early 30s has been really challenging, because I'm also in the season of having children. Like, I'm literally 5 months pregnant, like as I'm in this recording right now. So I think that also has definitely slowed me down, like as a founder, like having children and like going through that season of life, because women take on so much not financial, but like mental load than men. They take on more. And so like if you're in a place where you're also like having kids, or you just have kids in general, that like you're like a literal superhuman, like being able to like have a business, be a founder, like, and be a mom. So I think that that's also something that women have to take on that men just like don't really deal with as well. So I think that's also something that we have to deal with as women founders.
Yeah, I mean, you're literally growing a business and a second human at the same time. Pretty good, Tess. Good multitasking today. We have a question that is coming into the comments, and it's a good one. This Latina Travels. Is there something you would have done differently in the beginning stages of your business? And if so, why? Good question. Does anyone want to take that one?
Oh my God, there's so many things I wish I would have done differently. To starters, I would have loved to begin today, not 5 years ago. Because the technology is so easy. Right now, it's like I went through so much work to like build an MVP. And then the first time we went viral, we had a Squarespace, and like everything's like just like shattered, and it was just like bad. And now you can just build anything within minutes. It's insane. Really exciting. But the one thing that I wish I had done differently is I wouldn't have grown Greether in so many countries so fast. Because that kind of like, it was good to show people and potential partners that like, hey, there's interest. Within 3 months of starting Greether, I had signups in over 35 countries. And I was like, bingo, this is it, you know? But the reality is I wasn't ready for the 35 countries. I was not ready at all. And so a lot of those early users, then I wasn't ready to retain them, you know? So you have to be ready, you know, for what you have, resources you have. And I didn't have resources. I invested all of my savings at the beginning to build Greether. And I think so, you know, as a lesson, go at your own pace with your resources that you have. Now, of course, if you hit the jackpot, you go viral, etc., you have to keep the pace up, right? Like, it is what it is, and it's a good thing. But I think in retrospect, I wasn't ready. You know, I wasn't prepared. But now we are in over 130 countries. Now we're prepared and we're ready. But it took like 4 years, you know, of building.
You know, at the risk of sounding very like generalizing a lot, one thing I've noticed, and when I was on my journey with Wanderful, I went to business school and was in like the entrepreneurship, startup ecosystem of business school. And a lot of that is like the trajectory that you are taught, that's like the right one, is to grow fast, get venture capital, and like become a unicorn, you know? And I think that is like a very male-centric way of building a business. And there was always that like secondary, like, well, it's okay if you start a lifestyle business. That's, if that's for you, that's fine. But also here, you know, and it was always like very like sad for me that because what I'm now finding, and it took me a while to get to that place, is that sometimes slow growth is a much, much, much better business model. Like literally from the business perspective is like figuring out what works and like delaying, like intentionally delaying scaling and growth can actually be very strong. And there's a lot of businesses that do that. Like Patagonia is a really good example of like a founder who specifically was like, no, I do not want to grow fast, because if I grow too fast, I'm going to also die just as fast. And so I think that like, it's very interesting that you say that. And even for you, Tess, like thinking about this expectation of like, either you grow, and you're eating ramen every day because you've invested every single dollar that you own into your business and you're risking it all, or there's no solution. But actually you can grow any type of business in any format, and you can do it while still keeping a family alive because you're not investing everything that you own and all of your emotional energy. And those are like not really things that we're giving a lot of time and attention to, I think, in like the business world. So it's very refreshing to see you all building your businesses and kind of reflecting on these things.
Yeah.
I just went on a tangent. Also, Vanessa, I hope you noticed that I gave you a little gift of moving the Wanderful logo over to my side, so you didn't have to
my
do it in your corner. Yeah, I was like, I didn't want to try to eliminate it because I was afraid I would get rid of somebody, but here we are. We have like a minute left. I mean, I'm not gonna like hard stop everyone, but I just want to say I've really appreciated this conversation. I know we could have gone on so long. I still want to ask one more question, because I think one thing that we're missing is a round of advice. And you know, from the comments, I'm seeing a lot of people who are business owners, who are founders, who are watching right now. Like, what is your best advice to another woman who wants to start her own business, her own enterprise? What would you want them to know? Amanda, maybe we'll let you or Asnath go first.
I will tell them to just start. They've got this, and the secret is just to start. I mean, there is no any other thing but just start. You've got this. You can do anything you want to do, and you're amazing. Like, just start. Yeah.
I think just to add on that a little bit, and it doesn't matter what you start with. It can be, I love the comment that says they're slow, steady, and intentional. That is how it go. I remember our first ever clients, just 2 people, and it was intentional. It was a small trip and thingy, but it has rolled the dice for us to get so many clients after us. But it was just that one trip, just 2 people. 2 people. And to date, it's the one that has given us so many clients ever since. So yeah, I love the slow, steady, and intentional. And you can start with, like, even if you have little, start with that. Start with the little. And yeah, yeah, just that. Anyway, just that. Yes, 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 just that.
I love it. Just do it. Tess, how about you?
I would say, like, if something's on your heart, like, that you need to build in this world, like, you need to do it. Like, if there's something in you, you can't get rid of it, like, that's literally what happened with me with HerHouse for years. Like, I literally sat in the back of my head and annoyed the crap out of me for years, and I was just like, "God, just take this away from me. Give it to someone with more money, give it to someone with more resources," but it just sat with me, and it haunted me, and I couldn't get rid of it. So it's like, if something like that is in you, like, somewhere, someone in the world needs it. And so, like, you just have to do it, and just like Amanda Asnath said, just start small. You don't have to, like, I started HerHouse with, like, a little Facebook group, and then it just grew and grew and grew from there, and then I figured out the technology, you figure out things, and your to-do list is never gonna get any smaller, it's just gonna get bigger. But just take it one step at a time. But if it's in you, the world needs it too. That's probably what I would say.
I love this. I need to like write these little notes for myself when I wake up in the morning. This is all such good inspiration. Vanessa,
Yeah.
no pressure though. No pressure.
I think, I mean, I think you guys said it all. You have to be obviously obsessed about the problem you're solving, but I'm gonna give you guys a technical advice. A lot of the early success or early traction I had from Greether was because I was applying to everything and anything that fit what I was building. Applications or awards or programs that helped us. Anything that fit my criteria, I sent really long applications before ChatGPT was around. But I have a trick. So I set Google alerts with keywords that match what I'm looking for. For example, you can say grants for women in Africa that are building sustainable businesses. And you set a cadence. So on your email, you receive the news, curated to those keywords. And then you find a lot of really interesting opportunities that otherwise they would have passed you. That's been super helpful for us, since the beginning. I still have Google alerts for different things. You can also set it for your business. So whenever your business pops up, it shows on your email, and you set deadlines, to apply to those things. So that's kind of a technical advice. I think there's a lot of programs that help entrepreneurs at the earlier stage. I've been part of like 3 accelerator programs that were super helpful to different things, like kind of industries, So, try, apply, email people, cold email, cold LinkedIn people. You never know who's going to respond.
This is all such great advice. Thank you all so much for sharing your feedback, your ideas, your inspiration. I know everyone really appreciates it. Oh, Kenya's like, I use Google Alerts for grants too. Yes, those are really good, actually, especially for like, we actually have a Google alert for just like Wanderful. Like if somebody writes about us and we just didn't even know, and then we're like, oh my gosh, we can share this. So good for PR and good for so many things. I love the grants idea though. Well, it's been great. I know a couple of you we get to see, hopefully at the Bessie Awards in a couple of weeks. The rest of you, we are actually, for anyone, this is a good time to mention, we are going to be live streaming the Bessies. So if for some reason you cannot be there in person, and I say this both to the panelists as well as everyone watching, We're going to be live streaming on YouTube, and it's also going to be on Instagram. So you'll be able to watch everything happen in the moment. Amanda and Asnath, it's going to be at like, what, 5 in the morning for you? I don't know, like 8 o'clock at night. So maybe 3, 2 in the morning? I don't know, sometime very late.
We'll be on, no matter the time.
You're like, we'll be there. It doesn't matter. No, it's good. But then it'll be recorded too. It's like the only thing at WITS that we actually do record. Everything else is off the record, but the Bessie Awards is just too special. So you can all watch that. There is, I'll actually drop the link to the Eventbrite right now for anyone who wants to sign up for it. You can, and you can come on in and see how things go live. I just dropped it in the chat now. In the meantime, you all are doing incredible things. I really appreciate you are all so busy. And I know it was a lot to be able to make it here today all together at the same time. So thank you for carving out this time of your day. I really appreciate you all. Keep inspiring everyone. And thanks to everyone who was watching. I hope you enjoy, and we'll catch you all next time.
Thank you so much. It was
Thank
awesome.
you. Thanks, Beth. This is so good.